Good morning everybody, I hope you are well on this wonderful Wednesday. Hopefully the weather's got a little bit better. It's not raining as much. We've had a couple of really dreary days in Brighouse, but it's a good excuse. Grab a cuppa, wrap up warm, do a bit of stitching. So I'm just going to share with you what I've been up to. This is my Wobble Gob. I know at Yarndale quite a few people met me for the first time. If you're watching this, welcome to Wobble Gob. Just noticed one of the cables is sticking down. That's a bit annoying, isn't it? There we go. That's a bit better. You don't want to watch that. There we go. You'll notice as well I'm a different way round. I've had a massive move round of my sewing room. So my desk used to be here looking out over the window. That desk's now gone into my shed. So I've done a massive tidy up. I think Yarndale and having everything out of the studio just meant that when it came to putting everything back, I was really good and very organised, and it's just all neat and tidy. So it's ready now for me to start moving stuff from here out there so that I can start working out there a little bit more, especially as we go into winter, because my shed's super insulated and cosy, and I'm just really excited for everything that's going to happen. So Yarndale was amazing. I've got a bit of a video of me setting up, a bit of a video of my stand. Didn't get a chance really to take many photos, so if you want to see what was on, you'll have to go and have a look at Yarndale's Instagram, and other people that were there have taken loads and loads of pictures. So it was lovely to meet up with stall holders again, people that I've known for quite a few years. So Lucy Locketland, Kathy of Dear Emma. Really sad Farm Crafts didn't get there, but I'm sure we'll catch up again at another show, and just met lots of new people. I think that's one of the things that I absolutely love about Yarndale, is chatting. So if you came by and said hi, thank you so much. I was in a different spot this year, which I know flummoxed a few people, but it was okay. The sun came out on Saturday, which I was very glad about. Had a bit of an adventure there. Jane and Leanne came with me in Jane's van. Oh, a bit chilly on the Friday night, a bit better on Saturday, but we had a really nice time. So yeah, thank you if you came by. So I can't remember what else is going on the Wobble Gob. Oh, I've been on a workshop, so that was exciting. So I'll come to that in a little bit after the little videos. So grab yourself a cuppa, have a watch at my little videos. I can't remember what I'm putting on after this. My brain's slightly befuddled. I was going to be doing this first thing in the morning. I woke up at 7 o'clock with the intention of filming all this, and then promptly woke up at 10 to 9. I think the weekend just finished me off a little bit, so I think I deserved a bit of a sleep, so I think that was okay, but back to it now. So my shop is all updated, so I've got all my wools on there, my templates, my Hannah Dashery stuff, my new kits. There were a few left over from Yarndale. A few have sold on my website, so if you fancy one of those, pop over, get yourself a little winter project. And keep an eye out on my YouTube and my Instagram. I'm going to be doing a lot more little videos and shorts about the stuff that I do and things that I sell and all those sorts of things. It's like proper grown-up stuff now. It's like Yarndale was like the official finish of my summer holiday, so back to it. Yeah, so enjoy, grab a cuppa, and I'll see you in a little bit. Right, I'm back. Watching that just made me really, really tired anyway. It's weird how it takes you that long to set up. So it took me 4 hours to set up my stand. And actually when it came to take it down, within 40 minutes, we'd taken it down, packed the van, and I was off. Too much faffing and procrastinating. Anyway, so what's on my desk? Woohoo! Hope you like my nails. A little bit of fun, matches what I'm wearing. So I had to go back through my diary to find out what I've been up to, and I remembered Anne Kelly was one of the last workshops that we had at the shed for this year, and I finished. I moved my cup, I end up spilling my cuppa all over it all. I finished my pillow of Duncan, bless his little cotton socks. I was going to make the pillowcase, but I totally cheated because when I went to IKEA, they'd got a really nice denim one that was £5. So I ended up getting that one. So hopefully he fits in. Look at him. King of the shed, bless his little cotton socks. So this goes on my comfy chair in my comfy corner now in the shed that Duncan sometimes sits on. And I'm really pleased with it. I know when I'd done it, I'd got all these hexes around here, and the best bit of advice that Anne had given me was just to do a running stitch over the back and take the running stitch into the background so it blends it in, and it totally works. She's such an expert, there's a surprise, with what she does. So that's my little Duncan. I was going to put a little crown on him, but I quite like him as he is. He looks really, really annoyed, which is what he normally does do. Looks quite. My kids keep saying he looks quite cross. But that is the photo that I took of him sat, and he was sat on the chair. So he was sat on the chair when I took the picture, and then I've made the cushion to put it on the chair with him on it. So I'm really pleased with that. It's gone on to, the backing is actually a piece of vintage quilt that I got from Debs. She's DSG 1965, I think, on Instagram. She's always got sales. She's a very dangerous lady, but I got lots of squares that were from American quilts. So it was brilliant working on that because it was like the background was already done, and I just popped some little bits of vintage lace just to frame him. A little bit of, I think they're the hem of Robert's old jeans at the bottom. And then I'd got some hexes that I'd got from somebody that had been making a quilt, but they couldn't finish it, so they just sold off all the hexes. And then my fabric is just from a scraps bin with a little bit of lace. This little bit of lace is actually part of a collar. I thought that was kind of cute because he has got a white chest. Such a beautiful workshop. If you can get to go on a workshop with Anne Kelly, please do. She's amazing. Oh yeah, and it was such a beautiful day. And then the weekend after, I felt very lucky last month. The weekend after I had Ali Ferguson. It's going to be quite hard to show this because it goes portrait and I can't fit it in portrait way up. So you're going to have to imagine it the other way around. Let's take a piece of paper from underneath. It's probably a bit easier to see it. Right. Let's have a look. What can we do with this? So this was the wooden block sampler, and Robert's just redone our kitchen. So I decided I was going to do a piece for the kitchen because I've got a piece for the bathroom that's got my seashells and stuff like this in. So I was collecting, when I went down to London, I got spoons from the market. I got these tiny little boxes that were for watch pieces, and I've got a tiny little OXO cube tin. This was a little medal that I'd made when I did Maria Thomas's workshop, and I didn't put it on my jacket, and I thought it fitted in quite nicely. And when I was at the market, I picked up a vintage little cookery book. So I've got Yorkshire Parking, jam tarts. Then when you come down to the bottom, oh, I can't fit it in. I've got a birthday cake. Here there's the recipe for the birthday cake. There's a little bit of the cakes list that was in the index at the back. I've got my little sugar thingies, sugar whatsits. That's the other bit of my OXO cube. So I've even stitched in that, and then got a little glass thingy. My cork, it's got a H on it, was for Harriet, so that's going to go on the top when it goes on the wall. Got some bits of broken crockery. Oh gosh, that was a bit of a Freudian slip. Some little bits of broken crockery. Oh, blimey. Oh, blushing. Oh, I do apologise. I hope I haven't offended anybody there. At least I didn't say it out overly loud, she says. yeah, I'm just checking that my microphone is on. That would have been so funny if I'd have said that and it wasn't on. Little spoons. Then at the bottom here, I can't really see this bit. Flip it around. I've got some little hooks that I'm going to dangle some little bits down. So I've got a little spice scoopy thing. I've got my letter A for me. I've got my B on my bottle top for B. And then I thought this was really cute. This is one of the cones that you use for ice cream cones, I think, or other things. So I've got that stitched on, and then I just happened to pop in the garden and we'd got some hydrangeas, I was going to say buddleias, that are bright blue, and my kitchen's blue, so that's got it. It's actually dried really, really nicely. And then I've got a few little nods to sew in there as well, because it's very hard to do something like this and not. So this is waiting now just for when it goes against the wall, these bits. I've got a little shelf there that I can pop some other bits and pieces on. Yeah, so I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. Everybody's were absolutely beautiful. Such gorgeous collections of things. Again, if you can get on one of Ali's workshops, she has a book as well that she's got. Oh, see, there's me now just looking. Oh no, I think it's downstairs on the coffee table. She has a lovely book out, and I think she's at, so an early shout out, Ali Pally Knit and Stitch. I know she's doing, she's just put on her Instagram today that she's down there signing books. So if you're down there or you go into Ali Pally, look for Ali Pally and look for Ali, and go say hi. Say Anne says hello too, and she'll wonder what the heck's going on. Yes, I'm really pleased with that. So the blocks are all stitched. I've still got a little bit of finishing off to do. But it's just a very different way of doing stitch, but also a really gorgeous way, because we've all got collections of things. It's just a really nice way of displaying them. So I've done 3 so far of these. I've got this one here. This was the very first one I did. So this was a 2-day workshop. This was a 1-day workshop. I have this hung up in my sewing room. Just move that out of the way. There we go. This was my very first one that I did. So this one's a sewing related one. So I have this one just up on the wall here. And then I have another big one that's in the downstairs toilet. Those of you that have been to my house and been to the shed know that the house bathroom, which is the one that everybody uses, well no, it's the downstairs toilet, it's like my mini gallery. I have all the samples of all the workshops that I've done in there. Yeah, so that was kind of exciting. So then I totally and utterly treated myself. So I've wanted to do a workshop for ages on making my own paints and things like that. And I saw this workshop at the West Yorkshire Print place in Murfield, which is not too far from here. And there was an artist called Nell Smith who she spent a lot of time developing natural screen printing dies. So it was we were making our own dies and doing some screen printing. One of the things that I learnt on this workshop, which was one of the first things that I learnt, is that I'm not a patient person, and you have to be patient with this, because when we were making the dies on the first day, let's turn that down because you can't really see the colours very well, there we go, it takes quite a while to extract the colours. So these were the colours that we sort of started working with, and we extracted the colours, turned them into the screen printing inks, and then this is our testing sheet. So we put on blobs of each of the colours that we had created, and then added soda ash, iron or citric acid, so looking with acids and alkalis in the iron, to change the colours. And then just before we finished on the first day, we just did our first little screen print. So we printed with each of the colours. So we've got pomegranate, weld, red onion, hibiscus, madder and chlorophyllin, which is the only one that wasn't natural, as in the sense of these came from either actual plants or the dried. This was an extract, but it was to give us, because some of the colours you couldn't get the green and the blue, so we had a choice between green and blue. The majority went for green. I'd have liked to have gone for a blue because I prefer blues, but it was just quite nice. And then just running again the colours over. So the idea with the first day was we'd got a colourway to start working from, and then we were just screen printing with them and just playing. It wasn't a finish a piece of work or anything like that. It was just playing with the dies that we had created. So this was me playing. So because we had to think of a bit of a theme or something to work with, so I just went with my circles, and it was just about layering up. So some of these are the colours, some of them are either the acids or the soda ash screen printed over the top, and then you just wait and see what happens with the colours, which can be quite nice. So I was just playing around with lots and lots of different stencils. Some were quite simple, which was quite nice. Busy layering them up, and then it was getting a little bit later on, and the one thing that I wish I'd cottoned on to before we carried on was the fact that the green isn't affected by the acid or the alkali or anything like that. It changes colour ever so slightly, but not very much. And I was getting a little bit like I do when I'm doing piece of work. I was getting to a stage where I just wasn't happy with what I was doing. I thought, oh, because I really liked the green colour, I went a bit mad printing the green, and then I couldn't really do anything with it. So I sort of decided if I printed another colour that was fairly translucent over the top and then put something over the top, it might make a bit of a difference. And that's when things started improving a little bit. I was a lot happier, and this was right at the very, very end of the day. This is probably one of my favourite ones. So I don't know how well you can see it, because we were using newsprint, and this was with iron. So the iron is the one that's altered the colours to create the darker. Because the iron's quite watery, the newsprint started breaking down. So I got these really, really soft edges with what I was doing. So it was, I just loved it when you put the iron over the top. For me, it was that contrast of colour, and I've talked about this a lot when we've done stitching projects and things like this, is if you get everything that's the same sort of hue or range of colours, there's just always something missing, and it is always about putting a pop, either a contrast of tone or contrast via the colour wheel. But the bit that we were busy talking about when we were doing this is when you're doing this, the colour wheel doesn't work at all. It's not like you can have a green and think, oh, I'm going to put something else over it and it's going to go red. It doesn't work like that at all. And as I found out, depending on apparently the time of year that you extract the colours, how healthy the plant is, whether it's a fresh plant, dried plant, extract, you're going to get lots and lots of different colours. So these were all of my samples that I did. I really like this one with the line going down it. This one was done on slightly thicker paper. So my plan is possibly to stitch into these, or it might be that I copy them onto fabric, which I think would be lovely to stitch into. So obviously, like you do, or like, I don't know, I am assuming that everybody else is like me, mainly because you're here and you're just listening to me chuntering on, and hopefully you get it. Then I've gone down a rabbit hole, haven't I? So while we were there, Nell was busy telling us about books that you could get. So obviously straight away you have to go and buy a book. So I've got to be very wary, because this is where I started doing textiles. I would go on a workshop, come home, decide that that's what I was going to do, buy the books, sketchbooks, kit, and work on it for a couple of months and get bored and then be fed up. Sorry, just need a quick slurp. And I am conscious that that's what I do. But this is something I've wanted to do for quite a while. It's something that I'm really interested in. And I think the biggest difference is now I've got the time to actually do it. And the West Yorkshire Print House, you can become a member, so you can go and use their facilities. So I thought, right, what I could do is have a day a month or something like that, which is where I can explore this and I can go there and do it. So it's like a separate thing that I'm doing. The ladies that were there were lovely. I met this lovely lady called Vicky, who hopefully we might become print buddies doing this. So this is a book by Jenny Dean that Nell was telling us about. I've not read it all yet. I had a bit of a glimpse through, but what it does do is it goes through the different plants, and then it tells you like what the extract colour will be, what happens if you add an acid, an alkali, an iron, whether it's the plant tops or the flowers that you use. And it's a bit like a colour Bible of the different things. I mean, I know indigo is the blues. Never used indigo dye, but I know a lot of people that have. Obviously, with it being natural, there's lots of yellows and browns and things like that. I've got dye as woad. We didn't try that. We did weld. But I think woad, I think that was the other one that we'd got the option of doing instead of the green, which I wish we'd done that one, because that does get affected by acids and alkalis. And like just these colours, oh, are just amazing. And then it's been a case of like, oh, I have eucalyptus in my garden, and I'm sure I can find things. And it was one of the things that Nell was saying, is when you walk through woodlands and gardens and things like this, you look at things very, very differently. And we actually had a go with Dyer's chamomile. They've got a little grow garden outside, and they've got some. We didn't get it as yellow, but it was actually one of my favourite colours when you actually added the iron and things like that to it. We did do red onions, so I've now got a little bag in my utility room for me to start collecting my onion skins. Yeah, so it's a lovely book. I've got to read through it all because I do want to try and learn a little bit more. A lot of it is to do with wools and fabrics and things. So it talks about mordants and stuff like that. I may end up dipping my toe in there, but I'm more interested in doing the screen printing and possibly even making my own inks to work with and draw and paint from onto my papers. I know when you do the mordanting, it fixes it in with the fabric, and the fabrics take it more, but the way that I work, because my work's not to wear or anything like that, I can just work straight on it. And actually, if over time the colours changed or anything like that, because my work is about journeys and time and stuff, it actually wouldn't matter that it changes. So that was lovely. So then when I was at Yarndale, I'd been busy walking around, and there's lots of natural dyers there. And on the Sunday morning, I happened to have a little bit of a wander round and found Studio Evig, which is a plant dye company. So they do, a couple of ladies, they were just delightful to chat to. But they have a grower's kitchen that they're launching in the next week or so on their website. So I ended up buying myself, so I got some hollyhock, which is a bit exciting. Then I got some, I'm not even going to pronounce it. You can see the lance leaf something. Because I'm slightly dyslexic and I read things phonetically, which gets me into trouble a lot of the time. Well, not into trouble, I just become the butt of people's jokes because I can't pronounce things properly. I want to say that is coropsis. Coropsis. Or it's coreopsis. I don't know. I know that somebody out there will tell me how to pronounce it. But I got that, and then I got some weld extract, which I've been told all I need to think about that is papow, apparently, because I only need a tiny bit because the colour is very papow, which is amazing. And then I got some citric acid, and I need to get some soda ash and some iron. So I've got myself a little kit so that when I'm ready, I can actually have a play at home and have a go at making my own colours. So that was really, really exciting. And then the only other thing that I got was, I always go to Elijah's stall, who has vintage things. See, my brain has just now gone dead. And I'm pretty sure. Oh, I popped into work this morning, and because I've obviously been chatting all weekend, I had the day yesterday in my shed on my own, actually seeing people. Wobblegob just went cracky. No, it's not. Eliza Conway, that's the one. Eliza Conway, she always has vintage things, lots of vintage bits and pieces. So I've been really good actually this year. I haven't really bought that much. So I bought this lovely little collar. But the thing that I loved about this, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but it's circles. Look at that. How beautiful is that? It's just a beautiful little double layered collar that's little circles. How cute. Absolutely how cute. That is just so cute. And then because you all know that I like scissors, I've had to update a few of my scissors. So I've got a lovely little pair there, little, looks like a little eye. They always look like little birds or something like that. And then some little shears. How cute are they? So they're going to go up on my scissor wall, which is just here. There, you can just see that behind me, my little scissor collection. So they're going to add to that. So that was all I got. I didn't really have a proper look around the show this year. It was weird. I think it's because normally when I'm in a pen, when I go to the toilet, I go in different directions, and I didn't this year. I just kept going to the same loos, so I didn't really do a proper explore of the show. But thank you so much if you did come over and have a chat with everything that's going on. So where are we up to? What's next? Yes, so our last two things, shout outs. I'm going to say I've never done this before. I don't know whether or not I can actually change the recording of the camera at the same time. Ooh. Yes, it's still recording. Woo! Right, so, oh, the door's open. Oh, you can see Duncan. Look at him. He's just up there. That's his favourite. He's having a wash. It's a chair in my bedroom. Just realised the door's open. There we go. Shut that. Yeah, I've had to change around in my room, so you're looking at a different direction. You're normally looking that way because the window's that way, and I've turned it round, which is freaking me out a bit because I've got a bigger screen now. Me and Neve have swapped screens. So anyway, shout outs, things that are coming up. You can send me a shout out to awobblegob@gmail.com, and I will try and get as many shouted out. I just want to let people know about what's going on anywhere in the world. So I have some shout outs here. So my first shout out, I just got an email today actually from the people that are doing Stitch Fest down in Newton Abbot, which is the 2nd and 3rd of November, to see whether or not I'd like a stand. Unfortunately, it's a bit short notice, so I'm not going to be able to get down. But if you're Newton Abbot sort of area, 2nd and 3rd of November, you've got Stitch Fest down there. Sounds very, very exciting. You get tickets on their website. There is a slightly lower rate if you book quicker. I've just had a bit of a look, and they're really good with their tickets. They have, for neurodivergent people, they have an hour that you can go a little bit earlier so that it's a bit quieter. If you are a carer, you can go as well with the person that you're caring for and get a free ticket for that as well. So that sounded really good. The list of exhibitors sounds good as well. Obviously, next big show I'm doing is Knit and Stitch, which you're going to get fed up of me shouting out about. So that's the 21st to the 24th of November. If you use the code at the checkout, HANNEMADE, so it's HANNEMADE, at the checkout you'll get a discount on your tickets. There are terms and conditions and things like that, but hopefully you'll get a bit of a discount there. I've got no workshops now at my shed or online, but I do have PhD days, which are project half done days. We've all got them, you know you've got them. So the 25th and the 26th, I'm doing a double one in October. So that's basically, you just come along to the shed and bring your project and we sit and we stitch. The 25th is nearly full, but the 26th, which is a Saturday, hopefully some people will be able to come that can't usually do a Friday, has got places. And the other big shout out is I'm going to have lots and lots of news coming up this month about my move from Ko-fi to my website for my membership and subscriptions. Going to be lots of information. I'm busy putting a newsletter together now, so there will be stuff coming out about that. Don't panic about anything. Hopefully there will be a smooth transition. Fingers crossed. Hopefully you'll all want to come with me and join in next year's challenges. And also I've just got to finish filming this year's, and then I'll get the little tempted tasters for next year as to what's coming out. So I've been chatting to people. They all seem really excited about what's going on. Yarndale, hopefully there'll be lots of new people joining us, which will be absolutely fantastic. So those are my shout outs, and we'll just finish with Wellness Wednesdays. So 3 things. So after the weekend, the tribe and you guys and everybody that popped by at Yarndale and people that have messaged me, thank you. You keep me going, you keep me sane. Even when I have my little wobbles, I had Jane and Leanne with me, kept me going, and I'm back to it again now, which is lovely. And it's just chatting and sharing stories. I think that's one of the biggest things that I love about getting out and about to a show, which is just chatting to people and catching up, people that I've maybe not seen from one year to the next, finding out what's going on. I've loved it when there's been people coming to the show and they've come one year and they're pregnant, the next year they have a baby, then they come with their toddlers, or they've got older kids that I've seen through the GCSEs, A-levels and to university, or lived and shared people's lives. It's just gorgeous. I love the stories behind it. Other things, candles and a cuppa. I'm really getting into my hoagie way of living. I've got my socks on, my Nordic socks. I wish I could learn to knit them. I know when I was at Yarndale I was like, oh, maybe I should learn to knit, but it's another rabbit hole. I can't have another rabbit hole to go down. So I'll just have to appreciate the fact that there are people out there and support them that knit. So I've got my knitted socks. So candles and a cuppa, just loving it. I mean, the weather's been rubbish for the last couple of days, but on an evening, just getting in the lounge, lighting a candle, nice warm cup of coffee. I've been either reading a book or watching a film or chatting to the girl. Well, I'm saying the girls. That's the other thing. The third thing is my girls. Neve went off to uni this week, so she's up in Durham, settling in. Harriet's still at home, so it's nice still to have a bit of company, because Robert's obviously not here for 3 days a week. So I'm not totally on my own. I'm not totally gone since it's insane. I think if that starts happening, there'll be wobblegobs coming out every single day because I'll just need to talk to somebody. Even though I am sat here talking to myself, I'm just imagining that you're sat at home with a cuppa, hopefully listening to this, even though I have been going on a little bit. I did love it last time when I just said, oh, I wonder if people get to the end of my videos and loads of people were like, yes, I'm still here. So I hope you're still here. If you are, thank you so much. So yeah, that's it. So Wobblegob's 40 years old, well, 40 episodes old, and you're still here. We're still getting nearly 1,000 watchers each time there's a Wobblegob coming out, so thanks. Please spread the word. If you do have any shout outs, or you know of any exhibitions, shows, groups that maybe you're part of that are looking for members, just drop me an email and I'll share it. It's all part of our stitching world, which is just really, really precious, and definitely after this weekend it does make you just fall in love with it all again. So please subscribe to my channel. Every subscription is amazing. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support what I do, there'll be a little thing, one of these sides somewhere around about here. You can click to my Ko-fi page. You could buy me a cuppa, which would be lovely. It just supports what I'm doing, especially seeing as though this is now full time. I think Yarndale was like the official end of my 6-week summer holiday. It's like, right, Anne, you want to get proper serious now. This is your job. What a nice way to have a job, just to sit here for half an hour chuntering away to yourself. So I think that's it. I think that's everything. I'm just checking my checklist. Yeah, yeah. So we're just finishing off the 52 blocks and the stitching hours. We've just got September, October, November. We've got 4 months left to do. And I'm not sure how many weeks we've got left to do. I don't know where we're up to week-wise. Let me have a look. Look in my book where I've got my plans. I've got so many plans here, it's so scary. So we're into October, so it's going to, oh, isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? So it's the 40th Wobblegob, and this week is week 40 for the 52 blocks. Very, very strange. It was meant to be, obviously. Anyway, right. Shh, Anne, shh. I will see you next time. Love, hugs. Happy stitching.